Hello, everybody. Welcome to YA OK. Today is a special episode. It's just family.
It's
Alyssa,
just
how are you?
I'm great because I'm really excited about what we're gonna talk about today. Um,
I am too. I'll be honest. It's because you know what? Let's just get into it. It's 20 years of Twilight.
it's
Like,
20
Twilight came out 20 years ago.
years of Twilight. I'm wearing my Twilight book, or not book. I'm wearing my Twilight shirt. I have I have 3 of the Twilight books that are still in my room. And you know what's crazy? I'm 31, so the book came out when I was 11. So I didn't really read them until like the movies were going to come out. And then
Yeah.
and then I burned through the first 3 and then the movies started coming out and then I stopped reading them. But it's like let me set the stage for the people who were not there.
Yes.
It's like this was a moment that like truly if you were not there, I'm sad for you. It was like
Yeah.
this was something that was in Hot Topic and in Spencer's. You could buy Twilight merch. This was like the phenomenon of the fucking like for like a decade of time. It was everything. It was everything. And obviously when
I
the
was like, I was like, in my head, I'm like, I think it was probably more than that. But
probably
I mean, it could still be, for all we know, it could be 20 years.
right.
Like,
Well, okay,
it could still,
so
still be a thing.
So we'll get to that because I want to talk about
Yeah.
where Twilight is today. But at the time that this came out, so really when I say like if you were not there, you don't understand the magic, I mean more like when the movies and I think the movies started coming out and Breaking Dawn hadn't come out yet. So like that, right? Or was it Eclipse that hadn't come out yet?
No, I think it was Breaking Dawn, because that's something I want to talk about too, is specifically Breaking Dawn. I want a little part where we
Yeah,
talk about like
the other.
prioritize Breaking Dawn, but
Yeah.
I'm looking that up right now when the book came out.
Yeah. So this is the first oh wait, no, this is Eclipse. The first book, Twilight. God, now I want to read it again. Um it is, let's see how many pages it is. Oh wow, this doesn't have page numbers. Oh, it does. This is like something else. This is maybe a preview. It's a pretty long book for someone who's like in it's like 500 pages. This was the longest book that I had read at that time. And so I remember looking at it and being like, it's really long. I don't know if I could finish this. Like, this is a lot. When did it come out?
So Breaking Dawn came out, the book Breaking Dawn
Hmm.
came out uh August 2008. The first
Wow.
Twilight movie came out November 21st, 2008. So
It had
basically,
just come
the whole series had ended before the first movie even came out, which is
crazy.
a smart way to do it, honestly.
Yeah. So when this came out and was like something that I was going to pick up and read, I remember thinking like this is really long. I don't think I could read this, and I burned through it. And I also
Yeah.
was fully convinced it was the best thing that's ever been written. And since then, during COVID, I tried to reread Twilight with my friends. Like we were going to make a book club out of it. And we got through chapter 3 and then we were like I can't do this actually. The thing is it is it a good book? No, I don't think so.
I think for here's the deal, it has its issues.
Right.
I I I read Twilight and I think I started reading it, I want to say it was in 2007. I heard about it because I didn't read it when it first came out in 2005. 'Cause I remember, do you remember the original cover of Twilight? Have you
um
seen that meme of like the original cover?
I don't know, but
Because like all of the one with the apple and everything, I think that's a redesign that they
yeah.
did. Um,
I
the
also
original one was very much, or maybe it's just a foreign, um,
I randomly found
here.
plane tickets.
That's the original cover.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
So
Horrible, horrible.
it's also, look how skinny that arm is.
Yeah,
Like that
that's
looks like
I don't
AI
like
before
that.
AI was AI.
It in
Um,
my copy of Eclipse, by the way, there are randomly plane tickets in here, old plane tickets, from February.
that's
What
the
year
UK
was
cover.
this?
So,
February 2012. So that's when I read them. That's
but you had
crazy.
to have plane tickets back then.
Yeah, I had to have a
Couldn't just use
physical
your phone. You
ticket.
had tickets.
Yeah. Wow, an ancient
But
artifact. That's crazy.
so like I read when I read the first book, the second one was already out, and I pretty much finished reading the first book and went to the bookstore and bought the second
Mhm.
immediately. I don't think the third was out yet. I think the third came out. Maybe it was.
Were you
I don't.
in
I have to look up when the third one came out.
were you in high school
Um,
when they came out?
I was in college.
Oh, okay.
I was in college. And I was still going to read it because I mean, in my head, I was like, "Ooh, a vampire romance. That sounds fun.
Sounds
I've never
great.
read anything like that before."
Mhm.
And obviously, there were other vampire romance books, um, but I think maybe it was this specific type of romance where it was just kind of I don't know. It's silly. I don't think it's I don't want to say it's a bad book because it got people reading. It
Yeah.
was entertaining. It was easy to read.
Yes.
I think the first three are fun books, and I think people should read them if they are into these kinds of things.
Yeah.
That being said, you also have to kind of realize that this is a teenager that is the voice in this. It is all from Bella's point of
Yeah.
view. And so it's silly. It's very
Well,
dumb.
yeah, like if as an adult reading it, you just would never respond to any of this the way that Bella Swan does.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was an adult reading it, and I
Right.
was still like, "Oh my God, this is so romantic." And
College, you're barely an adult. Frontal lobe is not
yeah,
done. You're not
no,
done cooking yet. I wouldn't even go there. But I when I reread it
Eclipse was out, so it
it
came
was
out in 2007,
wow.
and it was also August 2007. I think because I remember when I read New Moon,
Mhm.
I was in LA and I was doing like internships and I had one day off a week. It was I think Wednesdays. I didn't have to go into any offices and I would just hang out by my hotel pool
Mhm.
in LA reading Twilight. And I don't think they had like said that they were making a movie yet.
Mhm.
Um, but I remember hearing about the movie and being like, "Oh, I can't wait! That's a great idea." And then I saw the cast, and I was like, "This cast is perfect! Great job, everybody."
Great,
The wigs are a little but
great job,
everything
everybody.
else, fantastic.
Yeah. Well, so
Um,
reading the book again in 2020, starting it again in 2020, there are things about it um that are just like odd. Like one of the things that stuck out to me and I think was like sort of my final straw in rereading it, which I would like to revisit rereading it again. But like Bella Swan leaves her hometown in Phoenix, goes to the wettest place in the continental US, famously. Um and she's wearing a she in the book is going to wear a black raincoat to school the next day. And she literally says, "I just really hope I don't stand out in a."
yeah,
And I was like, "Okay, Stephanie Meyer, I'm just feeling like what." But also Stephanie Meyer paints Bella Swan in like the most. If she wrote Bella Swan now, Stephanie Meyer would have been raked over the coals for creating like the ultimate pick me girl of like,
yeah.
I'm not like everyone else. I'm ugly. She's gorgeous. Ugly, but he loves me anyway. It's like, okay, sure.
And yeah. I feel like that was very much like a thing back then with kids, where it's like,
Totally.
oh, the only people reading books are ugly people, so let's make all the characters ugly. That way, the readers will feel loved. And it's like,
All because all of
I
us
think
uggos were the only ones
yeah,
sitting in our house.
just sitting by a pool reading Twilight,
Right.
and right. But I think it's just, it was, I don't know. It is a book of its time. It is a product of its time. Let's leave it at that for the writing specifically, because
Yeah.
there's also a lot of stuff that now you look on it and you're like, oh. this is very like trad wife kind of stuff where,
Mm,
because I mean, Stephanie Meyer is a Mormon,
right.
and the book is very tame. I think do they even kiss until the end of the first book because he's like worried about
Yeah.
killing her when he's going to kiss her.
Yeah.
And I think that was always one of the reasons why you wanted to read it too, is because it's like he's the bad boy, even though he's not. It's like, oh, he has the potential to kill me at any
Right.
moment, but he really doesn't want to.
When he loves
He
me.
loves
He
me.
loves me. Yeah. There's a lot about it that's like uh you know, the tropes are like just
Problematic romance can be fun,
yeah, it's
honestly.
just
Screw it.
you
Let's
know,
just say it.
it's yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like again,
Stop making excuses for Twilight. Let it just be problematic and
it
fun.
is, it's problematic and fun. You're so right.
Yes.
Um
It's
and
problematic in a way that doesn't destroy anybody's life.
yeah,
But because, like, if you try to live your life like Bella and Edward, you're going to be a loser. You're going to be
you're gonna
boring.
be a loser. And also, like, the story really only works because Edward is whatever hundreds of years old, and
Which
which which
we'll also get to when we talk about my issues with fucking Breaking Dawn.
oh my god. Okay.
'Cause that is like,
Okay, so wait.
here's the deal. How far do we get into this episode when I really unleash
Yeah.
and I stop being nice? Should we give it like
Well,
10
okay.
more
So
minutes?
let's talk like exclusively about the Twilight story first. Like
Okay.
Twilight, the very first one. Um and so like just going through the basic timeline of the story. Bella Swan's mom and dad are divorced. So it's Charlie and her mom whose name I don't know if we ever get her mom's
She's not
name.
important. All we care about is Charlie.
Yeah, her mom kind of a bitch. Um excuse me. We love Charlie. Getting older is knowing that Charlie was hot. Charlie is
Charlie's very hot.
hot. Hot dad.
Charlie's hot dad.
Hot dad.
Yeah,
Arguably hotter than
absolutely.
Edward Cullen. Like, now when I watch the movie,
Not even arguably,
it
absolutely a
right?
fact now.
So, okay, so she leaves Phoenix, Arizona because her mom is gonna go travel with her new husband, who's a baseball player. What an odd storyline.
So the mom's a pick me girl too.
Mom is also a pick me. So they go she moves to Forks, sees
Forks.
Charlie, where it's just like her dad, where it's just like painfully awkward. The both of them are it's like they don't know each other at all. Like they met each other that day, and it's really awkward. If I'm being honest, I am going to blend the story and the movie versions together because at this point I cannot tell the difference between the two.
I can't remember the
I can't
difference.
remember. I can't remember. And the movies are ingrained into my DNA. Like that it is
Yeah.
like the second that it's like the first chilly, gray, rainy day of the year, I'm like, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, everyone lock in. It's Twilight
It
season.
was
It
yesterday.
was
It was yesterday
yesterday.
for me.
Yesterday. It's like my comfort movie. I watch it all the time. Like I purchased the movie digitally so that I could watch it at my leisure because I do. I just do. So anyway, Bella Swan moves. She goes to the school. Apparently they don't ever get new students because they're going to write a paper about her and it's like a whole thing. And then she learns about the Cullen family. Yeah, that whole bag of beans. She learns about the Cullen family. And the Cullen family are all adopted. They all are uh dating except for Edward. Can we also take a moment for how insane Jasper is as a character? Can we discuss Jasper as a character, the Confederate
You mean the
soldier?
kid that fought for the Confederacy?
The Confederate soldier who for a
Oh.
mere
Jasper owned slaves.
for
Jasper owned slaves and wanted
and
to.
wanted
Like,
to and
kept
wanted
wanting to.
to and and for a mere 15 minutes of the entire series, which is many hours long, had a Southern accent. The rest of it, no, normal.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, when he tells the
Was it like the
story,
first movie they're
no,
doing?
it's not. It's way later when he tells his backstory to Bella and he explains that he was a Confederate soldier. When
Oh
he's telling the
my
story, he like randomly has a Southern accent.
I feel like we could have cut that part for the movies, but
Here, yeah. That feels like I actually in all of the backstories that I wanted to have Jasper. Actually, do we get Rosalie or Emmett or Alice's backstory? I don't remember any of theirs. Why was the one that stayed Jasper's Confederate soldier story?
I don't remember that. What wasn't I know with Edward, did he have Spanish
He
flu
had the
or was
Spanish
it
flu,
okay?
and then Carlisle was
Oh,
his
so he's
doctor, so
under
he
a
saved
hundred
him.
then, right?
I think it was
He's like 90
1920.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
he's like 90s. He's in his 90s when he meets Bella,
I
a
guess
16-year-old girl.
right. R-
15, but she doesn't drive
right.
until New Moon, which is a very important uh
Wait,
plot point.
wait. She's 15 when she meets him.
No, wait, she drives to
She drives to school because she gets the car.
school, so she's 16.
She's
Yes, because
16.
she has that truck,
Still.
which is I think the same truck that my husband owns, by the way.
Really?
But I think was it a Ford or
Okay.
was it a Chevy?
I don't remember. Can't recall. Um, so now this romance with Edward begins. They're flirting. Oh, okay. So in the beginning of them getting to know each other, we have a scene of the movie. I'm sure it's also in the book. The lab scene of the movie, which is iconic
Oh,
and memed over and over again because it's Edward.
walks right into the room and just immediately, oh God, this girl smells.
And poor
The thing is, I didn't even notice that until the memes. I've probably seen that movie
yeah,
like two or three times,
yeah,
and I never even noticed that she walks in
in the
front of a
fan,
fan and
yeah.
the wind gets blown in him and he goes,
Yeah, and he's literally he like, his hand is in, like, a claw because he, like,
yeah,
cannot and he's, like, moving things over the desk like that. Oh my god, it's so dramatic, and when you hear Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson talk about acting in this movie, like they fully know that this is like ridiculous. And I
yeah,
believe the interpretation is that Stephanie Meyer was like very much on set and telling them this is how she wanted it to be and this is like the way. So I think that like in the moments like that where you cuz I also feel bad for both of them, but more so Kristen Stewart. Everyone thought she was like an awful actor.
I was one of those people,
Me
and now I'm a
too.
Kristen Stewart apologist. I think
I
she's a fantastic actress.
she's one of my celebrity crushes. Like she's in my like top 2 celebrity crushes. When she got engaged, I fell to my knees. I was like, I can't take I love her. I love her. I
Mm.
think she's actually a great actress. She also has been acting since she was a child. Like
Yeah.
she's well seasoned at that point she was already a well-seasoned actor. So like it's funny that, it was very clearly the direction, I think, but
I want to know if the two of them ever realized in their heads, they're like, listen, this might be the thing that we are probably going to be like most known for,
mm,
but we know it's not going to be the defining thing, like the defining movie of our careers. It's like being known for something and something like defining your career.
yeah.
I don't think I think that I'm wondering if they knew it was not the defining thing because
Yeah.
I mean, Robert Pattinson was in a Harry Potter movie
Yes.
before,
He
and he was
was.
introduced and then killed in it. And then she did like Panic Room. She did, I think, a couple horror movies. She did
Yeah.
the other YA book, Speak. She was in that movie. She was the lead in that one. Um,
She also did some other young adult type movies. Like was she in Harriet the Spy? Like something along in that like
I don't know.
category. It wasn't
But like, I feel like they kind of showed up to set and be like, "Listen, this is our moneymaker now. This is what we're going to retire off of, and from
well,
now on, we don't have to do shit."
I get
You know
but
what? I bet you they did because Robert Pattinson was in a Harry Potter movie. Probably talked to Daniel Radcliffe about this, and
yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe had said, "Hey, Bob, you and me are friends now since we got to hang out in all these scenes in Goblet of Fire. So I'm going to let you in on a secret. Don't worry about it. This isn't going to define your life."
I
So they just had fun.
I think I don't think that they knew how like, anyone could have known how big it was going to be.
No.
There's no way, because like, even the books were really successful, but the you're taking a book that's like well, I guess you're in the wake of Harry Potter stuff, because and Lord of the Rings too, like, that was much closer in timeline than we are to that now. Because I was
Yeah.
thinking originally, like, sometimes when you're making, a book into a movie and it's, like, crossing a little bit of, like, a sci-fi genre, it's hit or miss whether people are gonna like
Yeah.
it, and if it's gonna look the way that people imagined it would, because you're dealing with, like, this whole vampire universe, and I think people, like, really strongly like, you have to use your imagination so much for it, so people get, like, very tied maybe to what the story so anyway, I think that it's not it was not, like, 100% that this was gonna be the moneymaker, but I think once the first movie came out, there's no way they didn't know. There's no way.
No, I think 'cause I think Anna Kendrick was on a podcast at one point talking about it
Mhm.
because she had that minor role. She was in all four
Yeah,
movies,
she's a
or
fucking
she
bitch
was
in
in
the
four
movie.
out of five movies.
She's
She
awful.
was
Her
I think
character.
she was I think she is like one of my favorite parts of the movie because like it seems like she showed up,
Mhm.
was just a sassy bitch, and that's it. And
Yeah.
she's like, "All right, cool, I'm gonna go home." And she like talks about how she would hang out with them and everything.
Mhm.
And she says between the first one and the second, it was like completely changed
Mm.
because it became a phenomenon, and all of a sudden they couldn't go out anymore
Yeah.
together. And so like they were
Wow.
going out together, but now it's like the main cast had to like stay away because they were like, "Oh no, we don't want to like get you guys swamped with fans who are following
Right.
all of us around or even paparazzi."
Wow.
And I think she even was saying that she filmed her last scene in Breaking Dawn, and it was like I think she was like filming it like before she had basically gotten nominated for an Oscar, or like after she had gotten nominated for an Oscar, she was still contracted to do this. And she's
Mhm.
like, "I don't care, I'll do it because who knows if I will have another job. It doesn't matter that I got nominated for an Oscar.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll come back for 15 minutes and film this one scene. Why not?" And but she was like, none of them, when they were making the first one, realized that it would become a phenomenon,
Yeah.
despite how popular the books were.
Yes. So we actually have not touched on a very important character in this series, Jacob,
Chica.
because Jacob has one of the funkiest stories I've ever heard for many reasons. um, you know, I don't even know where to begin. He's
Were
pine
you, let's start with this. Were you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Edward. I was here for the
I think I was too.
toxic storyline. I was very Team Edward.
Like, I think I was Team Edward for Bella, but I wanted Jacob,
That's
if
okay,
that
that's fair.
makes sense.
That's fair.
Like, as a, like, adult Jacob and adult Eric, by the way, because I am only like 20 years old at this point.
Yeah.
It's not as creepy as it is as a 38-year-old saying that.
Yes, yes. Um, well, yeah, I mean, so Jacob, played by Taylor Lautner, whose wife is also Taylor Lautner, by the way.
So weird.
um, Taylor Lautner, I think, was like 16 filming that movie. He
Yeah.
was really young. But he has like one of the worst wigs I've ever seen. Like the most low budget, like what
I'm telling you,
purchased at
all the
Spirit
wigs in
Halloween.
the first
They're
movie are terrible.
so bad. But I will say that I didn't realize Kristen Stewart's hair was either wigs or, like, hair extensions, because the year that that movie came out, the way that I lived on a headband and a barrel curl, because I was like, "And I am her," and it was like I was, like, down to be pale. I was sold on the Bella Swan aesthetic in a way that was, really mortifying for me now. Um Jacob is part of a local Native American community. He lives on the reserve. I can't remember what like uh is tribe PC? I don't even know. Like what do you
I
call their
think it
group? I feel like
is
that's the
when you're talking about indigenous people.
Yeah.
But I think if you, as a white person, are using the word tribe, you're not supposed to.
Right, like, I'm just trying to think of, like, there like, he had there was a there's a name for their group, but I can't remember what it is.
He was a Quaalude, I think.
Okay.
Quay.
Wait.
I don't know how to.
Oh,
Quaalude?
yes, it's a
Quaalude?
yeah, it's
Quaalude?
hard to say.
Quaalude? I can't pronounce it. It
Yeah.
begins with a Q. It's not Quaalude like a pill, but it's. I think it's something similar.
Yeah. But, yeah, so he's part of, an indigenous community and lives on the
Quaalude,
reserve.
I think.
Yeah, and he, his his, like, family thing is instead of being vampires, they turn into werewolves. Reflecting on this, I don't feel good about that. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like the amount of research I just did on my phone to find out what tribe Jacob was a part of is more than Stephanie Meyer did in
Yeah,
her entire all the research.
yeah,
So I don't. I agree. I think that again. Listen, this just serves to show how far we have come in
yeah,
20 years
yeah,
with
I'll
the
agree.
way that people think.
Yeah, I this
And I
is
think it's a good thing.
this is a story for many, many reasons could not exist today. Like, if it came out today, it would not do what it did back then because there's some
I
stuff.
think I think it could come out today, and I think that it could be a lot better with changes that reflect
Yeah,
the societal norms of now.
right, yeah,
Because
yeah, you're
I
right.
still think like even though this was made in like 2008, it feels older because for so much of the early 2000s we were still kind of stuck in that 90s 80s mentality because the 80s had that the video boom and all of a sudden that's what our culture was focused on was movies and television and pop culture and then now it's more shifted to people who are online. So I
Mhm.
feel like it would kind of, I think it would just change for, you know what? I think the way you could figure out how it's going to be is if they want to ever reboot it. I'm sure they will soon. It's
You
been 20
think?
years. They're already doing it with the Harry Potter stuff. So they're probably going to do this next.
I
And
really hope
then
they don't. I hope that they
I,
don't. Leave it. Like, leave it. It's a beautiful little time capsule and it's perfect. And part of the
I
reason why
agree.
people love it is because parts of it are fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like the lab scene when he's like holding his mouth. Like part of the reason why people love Twilight so much is it's so memeable and it's so like crazy to watch
Oh, I
sometimes.
forgot their contacts are crazy too.
Yes, they're like their eyes changed based on if they're hungry or not. One of the other scenes that I'm remembering is the scene when Edward and Bella follow each other out into the forest, and this is when you find out that like this is when the like say it out loud.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
Yeah, yeah, and he's just sparkling, he's just
Edward
glittery.
Guinan.
Yeah.
This is the skin of a killer. That's how I would do it, honestly. I would just be like, no, you don't understand.
Oh my god.
Look how glistening this flesh is.
Oh my god. Um
Diamonds.
Dewy. He used a setting spray. He looks gorgeous. But he also there's a part where they're like standing below this like the base of a very mossy giant tree and like kind of like doing this almost like choreographed dance back and forth and it's right before the conversation that ends in so the lion fell in love with the lamb which like if you didn't make your aim away message so the lion fell in love with the lamb we
Aim
are
is still around?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, then we were not the same gen, and also, I don't think Instagram was really a thing yet, like, it might have, like,
No.
just started to, like, because even, like, Instagram came out whatever year, but people weren't really using it until whatever, maybe a year later or something. But, the conversation that leads into that is, like, when I watch it now, I'm like, "This is so" like, it's so unnatural. It's like he's telling her, like, I'm fast, everything about me can is designed to draw you in, blah, blah, and then she goes, um, "I'm afraid." And then he, like, backs off and he's like, "Good." And then she's like, "I'm afraid of losing you. I feel like you're gonna disappear." And it's just, like, so corny.
So this is the adult in the relationship. This man is 90 some years old. He
Yeah.
should be like, as soon as she shows up, I feel like he should have gone to his vampire family and been like, y'all, we need to get the fuck out of Forks. There's some girl
There's some
that
girl.
smells like cake and puppies, and I can't deal with it. Like, does everybody
Yeah.
else smell that?
Yeah.
Because I think the whole family smells her, right?
Yeah.
Like, she just smells good to vampires specifically,
Yeah.
which I think they establish in Breaking Dawn is because it's supposed to, like, anybody who has, like, because Bella obviously. Oh, we didn't talk about how the Cullens all have magic powers.
Yes.
Vampires don't have magic powers, but the Cullens do. So Edward can read minds, but not Bella's,
Yes.
because that's where we draw the line
Yeah.
on privacy for women. Because can't it's not romantic if a dude can read your thoughts.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yes. Ethically.
Alice can see the future.
Right.
What Rosalie is just a bitch, I think. Is that her power? Just girl boss.
Yeah,
She was
wait.
a tech startup
Does she girl boss tech
back in
startup?
the day.
What
Yeah.
was Rosalie's power? That's so funny. She's just a
I mean, they all
bitch.
have power, right?
Let's
Is
see.
it just Alice and Edward?
Oh,
Jasper's a
okay.
racist slave owner.
Wait, you're gonna die. Rosalie's power is her enhanced beauty.
Oh, that's right.
Literally? Like,
Because they will not shut up about how beautiful she is.
yeah.
And then she has that shitty fucking wig in the movie.
Horrible wig. Horrible wig. Jasper.
Or
Let's
maybe it's just the way
see.
they did her hair. I don't know, but I think it's
Oh,
probably extensions.
no, hers is a wig because you could tell by
Okay.
the front of it's horrible. Um,
So,
Jasper, pathokinesis, the ability to sense and manipulate the emotions of others. I vaguely remember that. I think
oh God, they gave the racist that one? Jesus.
right. And then Emmett is just very strong.
Darker.
Yeah.
That's right. Emmett's the super, but like they're all super strong. But
Yeah.
I think in the movies they kind of gave that to everybody. But because
Yeah.
like I remember in the book, I think it's Emmett who like rips off the dude's head.
Yeah.
The other guy with the really bad wig from Easy A. That's the thing that I like I recognize him from. It's
Yeah,
just Easy
Easy
A. I'm
A.
like, oh, that's the one that Phoebe gave STD to in Easy A. Got it.
Oh god, I missed the early 2000s so much. Oh, it
Great
hurts.
movies.
Yeah, great movies.
Yeah.
Um,
So I let's move on to New Moon,
yes.
because that one I feel like was emotionally devastating
Emotionally
to
devastating.
everybody.
And I think that everyone was scarred by there's a possibility. And
Yeah.
then just like the
Great way
cameras.
to show that in the movie though.
Great, great
Because
way
in
to
the
show.
book I was just like, oh, because like it just shows you like
Yeah.
uh November, December,
Hmm.
January,
It's
February,
spinning around
March,
her.
and then it's like
Ugh.
you jump forward.
Yes. Um, this is when Ed
See, this is when the movies did get progressively
better.
better until the last two, I will say. But even then, I when we get to Breaking Dawn, I want to talk about the movie specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
But with New Moon,
New Moon, okay, New Moon, not that much really happens aside from Edward
the
is
book is so
gone. The
boring.
book is boring. I think the movie is kind of boring. It's just not
The
my
movie was
favorite.
better though,
It was
because at
better.
least they like kind of shortened everything.
Right.
Because isn't there so much more in of like, and it's not her trying to commit suicide. It's her trying to like just be an adrenaline junkie the whole time.
Yes.
Like the reason she and Jacob start to have a thing is because she starts fixing a motorcycle with him.
These this is Twilight and this is New Moon. How the
So they're like
fuck are they
the
like the
same
same?
length. It looks like New Moon's just a little bit longer, maybe
Yeah.
like 20 pages longer.
That's crazy because like so much happens in Twilight and New Moon is like literally a story of Edward not being there and her trying to like be an adrenaline
Until
junkie
she
so
goes
he
to
comes
Italy.
back. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then she goes to Italy. Oh yeah.
Which that
Yeah.
was this the end of New Moon
The end of
is
New
the fun
Moon
part, because they
is
introduced the
lit.
Volturi, who are
Yes.
the vampire aristocrats.
Yes.
Basically, they decide what happens with all of the vampires, and he I forget, is it Alice has a vision of Bella jumping off a cliff and then goes to tell him that she had committed suicide, which makes him
Oh,
go
yeah.
to Italy
Yeah.
to stand out in the sunlight during this vampire carnival that this small town has, where they apparently know the Volturi are living there, but they don't. It's like a part of their folklore.
Yeah.
And they have this ceremony that just happens to be like celebrating the Volturi, even though, which in the movie, that scene was really cool
It's
looking, like the
lit.
way they shot it and
It's
everything.
awesome. Yeah, you're
But
right. The
his whole
movies.
thing is like they go there. She goes to get Alice because I
Mhm.
think Alice all of a sudden realized, oh, Bella is still alive. I have to go stop this from happening, and then they have
Yeah.
to catch up to him
Yes.
and stop him, but it's too late. And like I
Do they
think that they want to kill them anyway.
they take a flight, which is really funny. Like, something about
Yeah.
that is really funny because, like, of all the things that these vampires are capable of doing, they still have to go through TSA. Hilarious.
Did they do it like was it like American Airlines
Yeah, right?
flight?
They were
Like
like, do they have JetBlue miles? Like, do you think that they used miles to purchase their trip?
it means they can't ever sit in an exit row because you have to have the windows open during the exit row if you're going to sit there during takeoff and
Oh,
landing,
you're so
which means
right. It'd
that
be
Alice would
glittering.
just be all
You're
glittery.
so
I
right.
mean, I feel like you could just be like, "Oh no, it's just body glitter."
Yeah, that's
Like that's
yeah.
the way you could do it. But back in like 2008, body glitter was not a thing.
Yeah.
Body glitter was for
No,
prostitutes and
n
go-go
I
dancers.
disagree. I think Claire's if you think about, like, having a Claire's moment, the store,
If
but not
if
as an
there was
adult.
no Hot Topic Twilight body glitter, that's a missed opportunity,
There
I think.
definitely was. There had to have been.
Had to
I
have
don't
been.
remember, but there had to have been. Um, you know what? You're right. The movies got way better very quickly. Like, New Moon was really the end of New Moon specifically was really good, and I think, like, given that the story itself is kinda boring, they did the best they
It
could
was at
with
least entertaining.
yeah, like, yeah, least entertaining. That's a better way to put it. Least entertaining because
I will say the Eclipse movie is the masterpiece of all of the Twilight
okay,
movies.
wait.
I think Eclipse is the best movie because the director who directed that is actually a great director.
Mhm.
They directed a lot of episodes of Hannibal. They did the movie Dark Harvest, which I told you to read for spooky season.
Oh,
The
yeah, I
movie
read
he
that. I read
directed.
that last year.
30 Days of Night, another great vampire movie. His name is David Slade. I think he also wrote the one with
Mm.
uh uh Hard Candy, I think it's
Yeah,
called, with
Hard
Elliot
Candy.
Page
Yep.
and Patrick Wilson, which is a disturbing thriller.
Nightmare
And
Cinema. Wow,
I'm
he does
not
a lot
sure
of
how it's gonna
horror.
go. Yeah. Which I feel like worked out for this one because it leans into the action and the horror. Because I think like the first scene is that kid getting turned by the ex-girlfriend of uh the Easy A dude because she's building a vampire army in
Yes.
Seattle to kill Bella.
Yes.
Well, to distract the Cullen so she can kill Bella.
Yes. Also, David Slade also directed a System of a Down music video.
Ooh, which one?
Aerials, which apparently is, like, a really
Ooh,
weird
good
one. So
one.
interesting. Okay, so Eclipse. Oh, yes. Okay, so for some reason, I forget, like, which part of the story are in which parts of the book, like, I forget where New Moon and Eclipse end and start. Are they engaged at the end of New Moon?
No,
Okay, maybe that's Eclipse that they get
I think
engaged.
Eclipse is that one because I think Eclipse is the one when they go to I think they go to prom at the end of Eclipse.
They go to prom at
And
the
I think that's when they have that little dancing scene.
No, that's in Twilight.
Yeah.
That's the first one where her leg is all her in the she's in the boot. That was one of the worst outfits I've ever seen. Very early 2000s, but why is she wearing a cropped legging with her prom
When they're in the
dress?
gazebo, that was the
Yeah, that's Twilight. That's the very
oh.
first one. And he dips her down and gets very close to her neck. Oh, oof, I love it. You know what? Even at 31, that was hot. Um, okay. Eclipse. What else happens in Eclipse? Oh, this is when they're on the snowy
Eclipse is
mountain.
when they're in the meadow, and I think he asks her to marry him.
Yes. Yes.
And I think the movie like ends without her answering or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Um, I'm trying to remember like what else happened in Eclipse. Eclipse
I mean,
is the
the big
battles of it
thing
all.
is the battle,
Yeah.
like because I forget because I think Charlie is getting involved in all of the disappearances that are happening in Seattle, which I don't know why they're going to some small town sheriff to ask about it. Maybe I think the kid might have come from Forks. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
And but somehow along the way, Alice has a vision that it's I want to say Victoria. Is that
Yeah.
her name?
Yeah, it is Victoria.
Who has been recast as Bryce Dallas Howard in
Yes.
the
I was
third movie.
I was upset that she got recast only
So
because
many people.
yeah, it just felt like they looked really similar, the acting job was great, but I was like, it just to have someone recast in the middle of the series is so upsetting.
And just because you what didn't like the way the first girl acted, it's like
I thought
I've
she
seen
was
her in other stuff. She's a
fine.
good actress.
I
Like,
thought she was fine. There had to be
yeah,
something else. But
yeah.
okay, so yeah, Victoria's creating an army of newborn vampires.
Oh, and the Cullens and the werewolves have to team up,
An
and they fight
alliance.
together.
They make an alliance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then and then while I think J Edward had proposed to Bella, and I don't think she answered right away, presumably because she's, like, 18, like, she's freshly born, and
Yeah.
then while all of the, like, battles and stuff are happening, that's when she's like, "I love this man," and she accepts the proposal at the end, um, and also, that's when she decides, "I will be a vampire at some point in time because I want to spend forever with you."
And the thing is, there's that scene when because like Victoria attacks when all of a sudden there's some random snowstorm
Yeah.
and Bella, Edward, and Jacob are all they're using Jacob to mask her scent
His
so
body
that
heat.
Victoria can't track them. And because of the snowstorm, she has to cuddle with Jacob to stay warm.
Yes. That
Honestly, I kind of feel like that's when you go, "Oh shit, I can't have a life with this vampire. What's he
yeah.
gonna do?" Like,
I
I know you're not gonna be stuck in a snowstorm all the time, but
yeah,
this man is dead.
the
Like, you either have to be
practicality of
dead
it.
too.
The practicality of it is a little tough, but, the scene of Bella being, like, freezing on the verge of being, like, hypothermic,
Mhm.
she they have Jacob get into a sleeping bag with her, like, as close to naked as possible because it helps to transfer the body heat quicker.
Yeah, we all saw Voyage of the Mimi, right? When
I
Ben Affleck had to cuddle naked with his grandfather to keep him from dying of hypothermia.
I did not see that, but that was like
Check it out, it's on YouTube.
okay. Okay. I but that scene was like, this is like one step
It's the most
further.
pornographic a Mormon could get.
Yes! Exactly. One step further and it would have been porn. It was like
Yeah.
it was like so
Oh my god, it was soaking. That's why
it
she
was
put it in there. Stephanie Meyer invented
she
soaking.
invented soaking. I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it. Yeah, that was like
But Jacob was
really
not gonna jump hump.
no, he was not. He was not gonna jump hump. He was gonna try and be respectful, mostly because Edward would have torn his fucking head off if he tried. But,
Mhm.
but that was like it's like a cuckolding situation because like Jacob is in the sleeping bag and Edward's just like watching them. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. And Jacob's like making faces at Edward to be like, fuck you. It's so funny and so weird. It's so weird. Um, but yeah, so Eclipse, big battle scenes. Victoria eventually is Rip at the end. Um, and then Bella accepts the proposal. So then Breaking Dawn. Now this is your time to shine, Eric. You've been waiting for Breaking Dawn.
All
Breaking
right.
Dawn starts with the wedding.
Here's the deal. I loved the Twilight books. I like when I was reading them, I was like, these are great. Like
Mhm.
I knew it wasn't high literature. I knew it wasn't gonna
Sure.
win awards, but in my mind, I was like, these are fun books. I like them. I think as a story, they're well written. Good job. And then you get to Breaking Dawn, which for me, I genuinely believe Breaking Dawn breaks whatever spell the first three books put over you
Okay.
because it is so bad.
Mm.
Not only is it almost 1,000 pages, it is so bad. So bad. It is awful. It is very obvious that at this point, the publishers know we got a moneymaker on our hands. Doesn't matter what the story is, send it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Because,
Especially knowing it was gonna be the last one. They were like, "You could put
yes,
whatever in here, it doesn't matter, people are
do
gonna
whatever
buy
you
it."
want. Because it makes no sense. It makes zero sense because you have this whole. Ugh, it's so dumb, and there's there's so much to focus on that's dumb.
Yeah.
But I think one of the dumbest things is they split the last movies into two movies, which you did not need because
Yeah.
so much of the books is not needed. It's all stupid.
Yeah.
But the thing that is like I'm like 500 pages into this book. I think it's 800 and some odd pages. I'm 500 pages into it, and I'm not enjoying it. It's weird. There's some baby stuff
Yeah.
that's awkward.
Yeah.
Um, but then you get to, you know what? I guess we have to talk about the whole thing. So Bella and Edward have sex on their honeymoons, and he breaks a fucking
Oh, right.
headboard. But it's not a romantic breaking a headboard where they like pounded it out and got all of their aggression out because they're Mormons and have never kissed anybody else before.
Yes.
It's because he cannot have sex with her without killing her.
Yes.
Because I guess vampires just are like
They're
rabbits the
fucking
way they bone.
yeah.
And so he has to like hold himself back to make love to
Ugh,
this human.
yuck.
And she gets knocked up, which has never happened before in the history of vampires, so far as they know.
Yes.
And
That poor house
this,
cleaning woman or
my
housekeeping.
God, the vampire baby also starts to eat her from within. And there's this horrific birth scene where her back breaks
Mhm.
and
She's so
uh
skinny and scary looking.
Edward has to rip open her placenta with his teeth
Ugh.
because it's a vampire placenta, so it's like steel basically, and she can't give birth to this baby, so he has to rip it out with his teeth. And meanwhile, the whole time Jacob is thinking, "Oh, this baby is killing her. I have to kill this baby." Goes to kill the baby when it is born and then imprints on the baby, which werewolves imprint and mate for life. And now he's supposed to mate with a baby. So we're keeping the whole jailbait thing going, I guess,
Mhm,
as a
mhm,
theme.
mhm. The
And
thief.
then we also learn this miraculous new detail where werewolves can stop themselves from aging whenever they want.
Right.
So it runs in families that they imprint on underage
Infants.
children. And 40-year-old men will stop aging until probably they become 18, and then all of a sudden they'll start doing it again. I don't know. That they don't explain that part. And then he's like imprinting. So now all of a sudden, oh, and the reason that he was so in love with Bella was because he was in love with the egg that Edward
Implant in
implanted his semen in. And it's like, so wait, was Jacob also bisexual and kind of into Edward? So would he have imprinted like if Edward was a vampire woman? I just, and also if vampires, if sperm can still create a baby with a
Mhm,
human egg,
mhm.
why is it just the vampire women have all dead eggs, but vampire men have live sperm? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's true.
It's stupid. It's misogynistic,
Yeah.
and it gets worse. Somehow, it still gets worse. So they have this kid who's getting older miraculously very quick. And Jacob's like, yes, thank God. I don't have to wait that long. And this fucking toddler is running around with her new powers too, because I think she can fly or some shit, because she's half vampire, half human. And another of the Cullens family members decides to show up to visit out of nowhere uninvited and sees this vampire. But it turns out that it is a faux pas for vampires to turn children into vampires. And so they think that this baby human hybrid is a vampire, and they go and tell the Volturi, and the Volturi are going to come kill them. So then the Cullens have to go and get all of their friends to convince them to stand up against the Volturi, and they
Yes.
lead up to this huge battle in which Alice walks forward and tells them, "You're going to die because I had a vision," and
Yes.
then everybody goes away and leaves. That's how the fucking book ends.
That's how the book ends.
There's no battle.
Okay.
There's nothing.
But no.
And it's so stupid.
But there's a
And
fake battle, which is important.
there isn't in the book.
Oh, there isn't?
Which, that is why I, to this day, believe
Whoa.
Breaking Dawn Part 2 is one of the best in the series, and was one of the single greatest movie-going experiences in a theater I have ever experienced.
Agreed.
Because it's basically like Jurassic Park Breaking Dawn Part 2 for me. Because it's like Jurassic Park felt magic. Breaking Dawn made me feel alive again.
Yeah.
Because so in the book, and the reason it's so annoying and why it broke the spell, I was ready. I was like, listen, if there is a world-ending battle that's like on par with, I hate to keep bringing up Harry Potter, but it's like that was the only thing before it, so it's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And something that's on par with the Battle of Hogwarts, but with Breaking Dawn, I was like, that this is going to be a good finale.
Yeah.
And for them to just, because in the book it's all told from Bella's perspective, so all she sees is Alice go up and hold out her hand to the Volturi. They touch it, and then they go, "Our bed."
Yeah, that's horrible.
On you go.
I would have been
have a good life.
Furious.
See you around, and then they leave.
I would be furious if I read.
I was so
800
angry.
pages.
I almost ripped the book in half. I had to like lend it to my friend, but that's the only reason I didn't, because I needed somebody else to hate talk about it with. Because she read it and had the exact same thought. But going into the second movie, I knew that they could not do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
If you're making 5 movies, and this is a summer, no, it was actually a Thanksgiving, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a big movie. It's a big event movie. You can't just have everybody show up, have a conversation, and leave. You can't tell everybody there's going to be an epic battle just like there was in Eclipse and it not exist. So picture it. It's a 10 a.m. matinee on a Sunday, opening weekend. My boyfriend and I are there. He had never read the books. He has no idea what's coming. I know they cannot possibly have the same ending. And so I'm sitting there waiting. And as soon as the movie is like, when they get up to this big scene, Carlisle is the one who walks forward. And then the Volturi rips his fucking head off.
Yeah.
And
the
theater goes nuts.
Freaks the
It was
fuck
pandemonium.
out. No, wait, but didn't that happen at the
girls
was that at the,
were screaming.
I thought it was at the end of the first one that happened.
No,
and that was like the
it's in the because the end of the first one is when she gives birth.
Oh,
and then she opens up her eyes and she has the red eyes of a vampire.
Oh, yes. Okay, and then
which also goes on to nothing because she has no thirst for human blood. She doesn't care. That's her power. She doesn't give a shit. So basically, all the shit that like every other vampire has to go through, she didn't have to.
Also, that makes sense for Bella Swan because she's like the most like nonchalant.
She's not like other vampires.
Yeah, and she's like the most like nothing burger of a character ever. Like there really truly is.
So of course she's not going to have any kind of
issue
with becoming a vampire.
Yeah, so she's going to have like the nothing burger vampire skill, which is nothing, which is literally the vampire power of nothing.
Yeah.
So
good job.
Good job. Yes. Okay. So Carlisle's head gets ripped off. Everyone in the theater is screaming. Everyone's screaming. I was crying.
I was screaming, crying.
Furious.
I'm giggling with excitement because I'm like, oh my God. I mean, in my head, I was like, I know how the book ended. So this is obviously Alice's vision. But these kids probably are having panic attacks
I
right now. They
was.
don't
I
realize
was, for
that's
sure.
the only way you can tell this story in a visual medium. That's how adaptations are. You have
Mhm.
to change it from the book a little bit.
Sure.
And so I'm just giggling. The girl, like 3 seats down from me, is literally screaming, "What's happening? This isn't supposed to happen."
Yeah.
It was so
It was
good.
awesome.
I loved it. I smiled the rest of the fucking stupid movie, and it made it so much worth it. I was like, you know what? The first part one was garbage. I hated it. But this made it all worth it. And I think because of that movie, I will say the book Breaking Dawn broke the spell for Twilight for me. I no longer liked it. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
It's garbage. I hate it. The movie
Re
Breaking Dawn Part 2 gave me a
reinstated
little bit
it.
of that spell back. And I was like, you know what? It's not total shit.
So I read the first 3. I didn't end up reading Breaking Dawn because the movies were coming out at that point, and at that point,
Don't
I was
bother.
like, "I'm not reading an 800-page
It's so
book
bad.
when the movie yeah, when the movie is coming out." I was like, "That is where I have to draw a line." So, I was like, "I'll just skip it. I'll watch the movie, like, whatever." I read the other 3. I'm so glad I didn't read that. I'm so glad I didn't read
It's
that.
I was so angry. And the other thing is they Breaking Dawn actually has like huge chunks of the book where it's from Jacob's point of view, and she had never done that before. Which I was like,
Oh.
oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they're doing this for a specific reason. I think it was just so people didn't think it was weird that he imprinted on a baby, and I
Yes, that's
fucking did.
100% the
So
reason. That's 100% the reason. Also,
I
we've
still think that's like
it
insane
is
that that
insane. It's
happened.
fucking gross, and also, like, honestly, only a Mormon could have come up with that storyline. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. Also, we brushed over the fact that the daughter's name is
A worst name
Renesmee.
in the world. Ugh.
Renes
Renesmee.
Renesmee. It's
That's the mom's first name, Renee. That's
Renee.
why.
Yes, Renee and Esme. Renesmee. One of my favorite,
Dude.
like, memes for Twilight is when people just call the daughter, like, random things, like, they'll call her Resume. I think that's so funny. But, like,
And wasn't it a
Renesmee.
CG baby too when it was born? The ugliest fucking CG
So
ever.
okay, so they had like I think a robot version of the baby in when they filmed it, and they thought that that was creepy, so they put an overlay of a CGI baby on its face.
Oh
So
my
much
God.
worse.
It's even
So much
worse.
worse. So
Oh,
much worse.
and Rosalie all of a sudden becomes not a bitch anymore. Her
Yes.
superpower is just being having maternal instincts because she
Yes.
was the only one that was on Bella's side the whole time.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So
No,
basically, we learned that
she's just
Rosalie is
pro-life.
pro-life.
She's
Yes.
actually just fiercely
She is the only
pro-life.
one of the Cullens that is like, no, we have to bring this baby to term. Everyone else
No.
is like, we should abort this kid that's like killing
Yeah, they're
her.
like, "She's killing her." And then, yeah, Rosalie's the only one who's fiercely pro-life, and she's like, "This is a baby. You have to keep it. This is a life. We never get to have this." And, like, and freaks the fuck out and forces Bella to keep the also, a detail of Breaking Dawn that I think is interesting is that Bella's family doesn't know that she's a vampire and doesn't know that, like, any of the Cullens are vampires. So she is, like, pregnant and actively dying, and they have to keep
They
Charlie
don't
away
know.
from her for, like, a year. And then
Isn't it? I think
oh,
it's an
no.
accelerated birth
Yes,
though,
it is
because like I
accelerated.
think she was only pregnant for like a month,
Yeah, 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 it is
and then
accelerated.
but like when she has the baby, they have to keep him away. They're thinking, oh, we have to keep him away until she no longer thirsts for human blood, which is
Yeah,
10 seconds after birth.
yes.
Um, and then when he goes there, like they never actually tell him. He just shows up and they have this toddler running around and she's like, this is our baby.
Yes.
And he just looks at her and he's just like,
Fuck. Yeah, I
this
don't
is
remember
weird. I'm a grandfather.
what explanation do they give him? Do they say that she has
I
some,
don't think
like,
they give
disease
him
or
one.
something that makes her grow really fast? They have to say
Let's go with
something.
that.
Like, they have to say something.
I think they're like waiting for him to figure it out. And then he just goes, you know what? I don't want to know. In
Could
traditional
you
Charlie fashion,
fucking yeah, could you imagine that happening in real
he's just like,
life?
whatever, it's fine.
Right. I that's so crazy. That's so crazy. During, COVID, I rewatched all of the movies in, like, a day long marathon. It might have been a day and a half. I highly recommend making the time for doing that because when you watch all of the movies back to back, like I immediately like muscle memory. I remember how emotionally attached I was to all of these characters. Like watching Carlisle's head get ripped off, like I don't know that I can think of another movie going experience. Maybe watching Game of Thrones. There was some of
Mm.
those moments where like your favorite character dies and like that's
Yeah.
horrifying. But like I don't think I've ever had a movie going experience where I felt so deeply attached to a character and then had to watch them die. I was like that was horrible. Horrible, horrible. So like watching that whole thing all over again, I was like, wow, I was so emotionally invested in this whole series. I distinctly remember like going on YouTube, and this was like sort of in the infancy of beauty YouTube still. I remember going on YouTube and like looking up like Bella Swan hair, Bella Swan makeup, like Bella Swan outfits. Like I was invested. I was like, I wanted it to be so real and part of my everyday life so much because I just I
I
loved
looked up
it.
Edward Cullen Carr, and that's why I drive a Volvo now.
Really?
Not really,
Oh.
but I mean, I drive a Volvo now, but that's not why.
Yeah, I would like to know
And
that
also,
they must have
I
gotten a
looked it up
sponsorship for that.
that with Volvo, yeah, I think they like because my husband actually like knows about cars and shit, and he said that that was like the first year that that specific car came out, and that's why they wanted Edward Cullen to drive it.
Got it.
Um, but I just looked it up, and she never tells Charlie that she's a vampire. She just
Wow.
is kept away from him for a while, and then they say that they adopted her, Renesmee, because they waited for her to kind of level out on her
Right.
age
Yeah, remember she's like
jumping.
a savant on the piano, like she can play piano like amazing and
Did she drink blood? I mean, like, was she like hunting animals, or was it
I
like
don't
was
think
she just
so.
eating regular stuff? Because I think she's like human, but with
Yeah.
vampire
She's
powers.
half and half. I don't think she hunts. I don't think they
She
do
could
that.
also, I think she can communicate through touch as well, because I
Yeah.
think that was the thing with the Volturi that like she
Mhm.
wanted to like she had to go like hold their hand so that
Yeah.
they could see what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
something like that.
Yeah.
Again, spell was broken for me, and then
And
Breaking
then
Dawn Part Two.
brought it back a little bit. Yeah.
Little bit, little bit.
I I miss that period of time. Like that period of time was just awesome. Like we rarely have a moment now where everyone is so united over like a series or a movie or whatever. Like I think we saw it with Lord of the Rings, I think. We saw it with Harry Potter for sure. We saw it with Twilight and like I don't know, like have we had other versions of that? We must have. I don't want to say like a
Hunger Games, but
yeah, but it wasn't
that was
the
like I think
same.
Hunger Games was popular, but I don't think it was
It
never
was not the
nearly as
same.
popular as Twilight,
Yeah, and
because Hunger Games is the same producers of Twilight, but like I think they bought the rights instantly, knowing, ooh, this is going to be the next big thing, and they
mhm,
kind of manufactured it and turned it into that. I
yeah.
think it was popular,
I
but when the movies came out, it became more popular.
yeah, and I bet if you looked up, like, how much money Hunger Games made, I'm sure it's more maybe than Twilight, but it doesn't even matter because it's not about, like, which did better in the box office. It's like, I cannot describe to a person who was not there how all-encompassing the Twilight experience was to be a young
It was
person.
everywhere,
It was
like
people had, like,
nonstop.
Team Jacob, Team Edward, bracelets, necklaces, notebooks, t-shirts, bags, like everything. And it was like that was like a conversation that people were having even when I was in high school. They'd be like, "Are you Team Edward or are you Team Jacob?" Like it's this was like such a and also picking teams for characters was
Yeah,
I don't know of any other series that did it like that until later. Like so then after Twilight came out, then there became this like ongoing release of vampire related media. So it was like Vampire Diaries and True Blood, I think were the big ones. And that was like, were you watching True Blood? Were you telling me about this?
I love True Blood, and True Blood was another one where I loved it, and then all of a sudden something happened, and I was like, "Well, spell's broken. This is shit."
I've never watched True Blood. Someone was just telling me to watch it.
I think I would say, listen, I've tried to rewatch it recently. It does not hold up.
Oh no.
Um, there's a lot of, I think you can tell the writers' room was trying to be diverse, but I don't
Mm,
think that the writers' room was diverse.
okay.
So it's the way that they write, especially black characters, feels
Eek.
kind of caricature-ish. Like where they were like trying to be like, oh, we're gonna show you this black character, but um we're gonna make her like really like you can really connect with her, even though she's a stereotype. And it's just
Yikes.
it's a little but that one I would say like if you wanted to watch it, knowing that it's like still a product of its time, the first four seasons, great,
Yeah. Yeah.
fun.
Okay. Well,
They're trashy fun, and then the fifth season they try to like make it, I don't know, like they try to make it seem like there's way more to it than it is, and
mm,
then they change a lot of the rules, and all of a sudden it all just goes
weird.
downhill.
Did you
I think it's like
watch
seven seasons long.
did you watch Vampire Diaries?
That was one that I have not, and I've been thinking about watching it.
Okay.
It's on my list.
I didn't watch it until actually I was filming The Circle and I was in my like quarantine room and I was in that room for like weeks at a time and we weren't really allowed to leave the apartment. And so I was like, I need to watch something. I need to start something. And it was like just I
Did they just give you all your own Netflix accounts to just kind of
yes, they gave us
go
Netflix
through?
accounts.
That's the goal.
So and I had literally nothing I could do. Like I there was nothing
Yeah.
to do. I had books and so I would read and I would um watch stuff. And so I had a chaperone and she really loved Vampire Diaries and she was like, "It's crazy that you love Twilight and you have not watched this." And so we started it together and we were
Oh, so
both
cute.
it was really fun and it is I'm so glad I watched it in that circumstance 'cause I for so long, I was like, "This looks so fucking stupid." It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's, like, hot and sexy and entertaining and stupid in the ways you want it to be, but the actual, like, backstory is pretty, like, there's a lot of, like, depth in the backstory, like, they build it out as the story keeps going, the history of everything goes further and further and further back and gets, like, bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's really interesting, so I highly recommend Vampire Diaries. If
And they have two spin-offs, right? Is Legacy and the originals? Are they both part of?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah, I haven't watched the spinoffs, but I rewatch Vampire Diaries, like, regularly. I love it, it's so good. I met, Ian Somerhalder this past summer, and I have a picture with him and I wanna, like, frame it forever, but I heard that he's, like, Trumpy, so, like, whatever. I'm not gonna do that. I know. And there was something with Paul Wesley too that he said or did something that was, like, a little questionable very recently, which broke my heart, but also Paul Wesley has this habit of dating girls who are, like, in their 20s, and he's 40. So, something is a little nefarious there. I don't like what's going on there, but regardless, when I watched The Vampire Diaries for the first time, I was feral. Feral, clawing at my enclosure. I loved those boys so much. And, like, now obviously they're much older, so and they have, like, wives and well, Ian has a wife and children, whatever, but you gotta watch it. Highly
I feel
recommend.
like anything that has, I think that's the testament of like a good romance. It's when somebody, if somebody's reading something and they connect with it that way, where it like makes them feral.
Oh my
That
god.
I think like definitely that is what everybody should be aiming for. And I don't even think it's something that you can create. I think
Yeah.
it's something that is kind of natural. It's like it has to be the right thing at the right moment because I don't I don't know if kids read Twilight now.
So,
Like,
I actually have a question about that. I'm curious what you think because Twilight and Vampire Diaries have 2 men fighting for 1 woman, and the storylines are, like, kind of icky and weird. Like, we know the Twilight ones, the way that they're icky and weird. In Vampire Diaries, they're brothers, and they both had, like,
mm.
sexual relationships with this woman, um, and so, like, I'm wondering if part of the reason why we don't have a story of that caliber of, like, I'm climbing the fucking walls, like, I can't Oh, overwhelming. It's because we need the
Maybe,
toxicity. Like,
yeah, maybe it's like that taboo
yeah.
nature of it
Part
that
of the
everybody
formula.
subconsciously knows is not okay
Yeah.
because this man is 100 and some odd years old and you're a 16-year-old girl.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean, that was like with Buffy, but Buffy did it realistically where they realize they cannot be together because they are vampire and she is a vampire slayer.
Right.
I mean, we'll see what happens with the reboot to see if they gave Angel his humanity like they were originally supposed to in the show, but who
Who
knows?
knows? When is the reboot supposed to come out?
It's right now it's not picked up. They just filmed the pilot
Okay.
and I think they're editing it now.
I have never watched all of Buffy the Vampire Slayer all the way through. So I think this year I will forego my Vampire Diaries rewatch for the fall, and I'm gonna rewatch Buffy from the start.
If you find yourself getting bogged down with the episodes, because it's hard to binge, like, it's hard to
Mm,
rewatch old TV because it's 22 episode seasons. That's a lot.
yeah.
It's much easier doing it now and it's like 10 to 8 to 10 episodes. It's like,
Yeah.
cool, that's easy. But if you feel yourself getting bogged down, I do have a spreadsheet of all of the episodes that you have to watch, the episodes you should watch, and the episodes that you can skip.
Send it to me, please.
Okay.
That's amazing. Where did you make
I
that?
made a spread. I did because I always talk about Buffy to like my friends, and they're like, "Oh, I've
Oh,
never watched it. I want to watch it." And I know like the first season, you could watch 3 episodes and be done if you don't want to
wow.
watch the standalone stuff. And
That's
then
crazy.
the second episode or the second season, there are very specific episodes you have to watch to really get the emotional arc. And I do a Buffy rewatch probably every year. And I when I was making this spreadsheet, I was in the middle of a rewatch, and the second season of Buffy is it has such a great overall season arc. It
Mm,
is probably one of the best on television. And dropping the Monster of the Week episodes that are kind of in between those important
mm.
episodes that you have to hit made the story better for me, which I had never noticed
Wow.
before. So
Interesting.
I would definitely, I think it's, if you're going to watch it, I would try to watch it just for the story arc episodes
Mhm.
and then the ones that I highlight as must see
Okay.
regardless because there's a number of Monster of the Week episodes that are must see episodes. Um but I think it just makes the whole story arc better as you're
Interesting.
watching it.
Okay.
Makes it stand out a little bit
Please
better.
send me that. I also,
I will.
Vampire Diaries is a similar thing where there's, like, 7 or 8 seasons, and the episodes are 45 minutes long, and
You
there's,
need to
like,
make me a
22
spreadsheet.
episodes. I can go through and I can make you a spreadsheet, but honestly, I loved every episode of that show. There's some that are definitely, like, it's whatever, like, you can skip them, but most of like, I've rewatched the whole series happily, beginning to end. The very last season gets a little bit, like I think I sort of, like, skipped through the very last season because I think that they at some point, Nina Dobrev found out that she was getting paid less than, Ian and Paul, and Nina Dobrev plays a minimum of 2 characters the entire series, and she was getting paid less than them, so she just bounced from the show, so they had to figure out a way to end the series without her, and she's the main character of the show. So, that put a really terrible twist to the way that it ended, and it like, the way it ended sucks, but the rest of the series is worth it. The rest of the series
All
is
right.
worth it,
If
in my opinion.
I feel like I'm getting bogged down, then I'll let you know it's time for
Yeah.
you to make a spreadsheet for
Yes, it's
me.
time to make a spreadsheet. That's really funny. Um, anyway, okay. I loved this like made my whole day. Like this like my day was
I
like
can't believe we talked about Twilight for over an hour.
I could keep going. I could keep going. There's so much to
Part two
unpack.
is coming in 20 more
Yeah,
years.
exactly. Catch us in the 40-year reunion 20 years from now. It'll be, you know what? I hope we make it that long. I hope that not just this podcast, I hope as a society we make it that long.
Yeah, mainly that.
Little touch and go right now. Um, but should we talk about what we're reading? I'm still reading the same thing. I'm still reading
I'm
your
still
book.
reading the same thing too.
I'm reading your book.
So,
And okay, I just got to the part where I already knew what the twist was going to be because we talked about it, but I
mhm.
just got to the part where like the twist happens and like you
Told to
find
the
out.
reader.
Yeah, exactly. And I like when I read it, well, I'm past it now, but when I read it, my heart was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and I was like, "Oh shit,
Ugh.
oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." Yeah. So, like, even
Oh,
knowing what
just wait.
yeah, even knowing what the story was, I felt, like, the dread wash over me, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Because that doesn't happen at the end. There's still a good portion of the
I'm
book left.
I think I'm, like, 150 pages in. There's so much left. There's so much story. I'm so excited. So, um, loving it. So that's what I'm reading. What are you reading, Eric? I forgot.
I'm reading the book of short stories by
Oh,
all the horror authors that wrote
yes, yes,
about
yes.
The World of the Stand by Stephen King.
Yes. Okay, cool. Well,
Mm.
thank you all for listening to YA OK. This has been a 20-year anniversary special for an iconic series of books. And I loved it so much. I loved this conversation. I feel very inspired to rewatch all of them. I would want to reread, but I don't know. The last time I tried, it didn't go so well.
I would say if you want to reread it, I would just say start with Breaking Dawn and see if you can get through it
No,
because
I don't think I can. That sounds
mm,
miserable. That sounds maybe I'll do like an audiobook and listen to the
oh
audiobooks.
my God, the audiobook's probably insane.
Right? Maybe that's what
Oh,
I'll do. That sounds like a good plan. Well, happy fall. This is sort of I feel like this is
yeah.
like a kickoff to fall. Um, go get a pumpkin spice latte, cozy up with Twilight. I hope that there's a rainy, cozy day coming our way soon. And follow us on Instagram at YOK Podcast. And we will
Yeah, and if I misinterpreted anything from Breaking Dawn and you want to correct me, please DM us. Let us know. You're wrong, but
yeah.
let us know anyway.
Yes, but let us know anyway.
We won't shame you publicly on air
No, in the DMs though, maybe.
in the DMs, maybe. Yeah.
All right, we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.